a whole bunch of crap with my psychiatrist, who I owe $180 to, and that's due to, the $80 is due to them forcing me to pay for a visit that I didn't come to, because I called them in the morning when I first woke up and I said, I have the stomach flu and I'm throwing up, I can't come in. And they're like, well, you have to call in 24 hours in advance, and if you don't, then you get charged. And I was like, what? Hey, I wasn't throwing up last night. I woke up this morning sick. What am I supposed to do, you know? And that just really pissed me off. And so I was making payments on that. And then my bank account got totally messed up, which is part of what the whole bankruptcy thing had to get pushed to do, because I was stupid and I did those payday advance places, and I did more than one, because I wasn't gonna be able to pay rent, you know? I wasn't gonna be able to pay our electricity bill or whatever. We didn't have any groceries, you know, stuff like that. Not like, oh, I want to go buy a new TV, you know? And so I got screwed over at that point, and these places, they keep, or my bank or some, I don't know what's going on, they keep reprocessing that check like every couple days, and even though my account is in the negative. Like most banks that I've had before, they process it, well, they'll process it 2 times, and then they return it and they say, you know, we're not going to process this anymore. Not this bank that I had, Umpqua. They just keep reprocessing it, and, you know, I had $1,000 in nothing but fees. And I tried to do the Fresh Start program that they have, which is where they start you off at a 0 balance again, and then each month you slowly start to pay them back for the previous balance. So I did that, but then they still kept trying to reprocess those checks. And so by the time I go to make my first payment to them, I'm in the hole like $100, $200. I can't make those payments. So that got screwed over, and so, you know, everyone's attacking me, and then I guess a couple of my checks bounced, and like they're attacking me and calling me, and it's just really getting me down. And my psychiatrist, oh yeah, then about my psychiatrist. So anyways, with him is then my check bounced with him for the last visit, because he stopped accepting my insurance, so I had to pay him cash, and then I get reimbursed by my insurance $70, and it's $100. It was really hard for me to come up with $100 like that. So I planned for that to go through, but it didn't, because they kept reprocessing fees, and so it bounced. And so I had $80 from the previous visit that they counted against me that I didn't go to, and then I had this bounce check fee. And then they called me, left a message, and they said, your appointment is canceled for May or whatever. And I guess he sent out a certified letter, but I live in an apartment, and our mail lady she sucks, and she's a bitch. And so she never brought it up to me, and so I didn't get it. And so, you know, I finally, when I got one of their bills, I called, and, you know, I was like, why is my appointment canceled, you know? What can I do, you know, can I set up payment plans or whatever? And I also told him, you know, my insurance has changed to Blue Shield, which he does accept, and so I'd only have a $10 copay every time. And she said, I'm sorry, but he's terminated you as a patient. And I was like, what? Terminated me as a patient? And I got a copy of this letter that he sent out. It was, okay. It says, Dear Miss, and this was written by him, not like some automated thing. Dear Miss Evans, due to the extended delinquency of your account, I regret to inform you that I will no longer be able to be your treating physician, as I am not comfortable extending my generosity further. I have canceled your appointment on 5/9/2008. The following is a list of all providers who may be able to render continuing care. You may also want to ask your primary care physician if he or she would be willing to take over your care. I will be happy to forward your records to your new physician upon receipt of an appropriately signed release. I will be available for you emergency services only for the next 30 days while you make other arrangements for your care. Sincerely, Dr. Asshole. Actually, I'll go ahead and say the name. It's Francis P. McDermott. And I'm going to write to the American Board of Psychiatry and tell them what an ass he is. Because that just pissed me off that he didn't even give me a phone call. He just, had his secretary or whatever. And when she told me that, I started to cry. I was trying not to cry on the phone. I was getting really choked up. And I was like, well, can you have him call me? Because I don't understand this. Because he knows I have financial problems. And, he's been not really nice about it, but he's had some understanding about it. And she was like, okay, well, what's your number? And I was trying to give her my number, and I was choking back tears, and it was awful. And then the next day I get a call back from her, and she quotes off some of this shit from this letter, and she's like, basically he won't be returning your phone call, he's terminated you as a patient, and that's it. Coward won't even talk to me on the phone after treating me for over 2 years of him asking me to trust him, because it's a big part is I have to divulge all of this really personal stuff that is hard for me to talk about, stuff I don't talk to anybody about, and I have to tell him this stuff and trust him to give me the right medication, and in return he won't even give me a call. Over $180 that I was trying to pay back, that I was making payments on, and I missed one payment. And they didn't even give me a warning. They didn't even say, if you don't make your payments, we're not going to be able to see you as a patient anymore. They didn't do anything like that. They just all of a sudden terminated me.